this presentation as part of the Global Dialogue's Worsening Water Crisis, and also as part of the Rivers and Tides course, which I discussed in the other pre-recorded talk that's part of this programme. I also wanted to take a short moment with you to give you a context for how and why I got to the point where I'm designing courses on water and sustainability, and on this course, Rivers and Tides. I just want to touch upon my wider work in water, or indeed my water research. It's very embedded in the work that I do at the University of Notre Dame, part of the course, as I've mentioned before, on rivers and tides, and also with regard to the course I teach on archaeology and ethics, and the course on London heritage, walking the city, writing the past, in which we engage with a perambulation along the river itself. So in terms of this waterscape being present in the teaching that I do, as much as the Rivers and Tides is very much a focus around the river and issues of sustainability, the river is ever present in our lives in the City of London, and I should imagine in your lives in cities or wherever you happen to be close to a water source, for example. So it's there and it's present, and we engage with it. It's part of a wider body of research that I am currently undertaking, and of writing and of teaching that I do, that is all around, one might say, the phenomenology of water. This has included last year a new course for the University of Oxford that I called Waterscapes, a fluid archaeology of prehistoric Britain and Europe, where we engaged with the many water worlds that people exist in, the material culture that they create as part of that water world, what that material culture and landscape tell us about their lives and how they lived, what they believed in, and on the material worlds and landscape as well. We have an example here to top left of the rather marvellous carved river pebbles from the site of Lipensky Vir on the Danube River, a Mesolithic inter-Neolithic site, a very ancient prehistoric site, carefully located along a course of the river associated with whirlpools and the migration of fish. And here people lived and dwelt and engaged with their water world in a variety of ways, including the carving of these human fish hybrid pebbles from the river. We also have in later prehistory these wonderful cultures, water cultures. Here we have the culture of Laten, which is a lake site in Lake Neuchâtel in Switzerland. And here people engaged with the lake in an extraordinary way through the deposition of metalwork objects, highly decorative metal objects, thousands and thousands of which were placed into the lake itself, Lake Neuchâtel, and known more widely as a water culture known as Laten. And then here we have an image of the River Shannon in Ireland, and on rivers as focal points for many activities, from dwellings and particular cultural groups associating themselves with particular sides of rivers, to the deposition of metalwork and objects into the water itself. Liquidscapes is an interesting thing. One might want to consider this particular types of practices with, and I've engaged with this in a collaborative work that has formed part of this book, this publication known as Liquidscapes. I also gave a collaborative performance lecture associated with that. This is a very inter-transdisciplinary way of engaging with water and culture. You can see a link to the SoundCloud recording of one of the performance lectures there. In 2020, I was due to go to Portugal to engage with a very particular type of waterscape in the place of Guimarães in Portugal, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site known for its thermal waters. I happen to live in Bath in the UK, which is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site associated with thermal waters. And the paper was intended to think about the connection between these two UNESCO World Heritage Sites engaged with UNESCO, and to think about water as heritage. That was the plan. Of course, that didn't happen due to the global pandemic, but the work transformed into a different kind of engagement. The same place, the same inquiry, just a different kind of format. In this case, a written paper and a recorded paper, and recorded two particular types of water: the ancient, thousands of years old thermal water that percolates up and realizes itself in the thermal spas of Bath, captured by the Romans, now known as the Roman baths there themselves. They are also located with a particular type of Iron Age and then Roman goddess, known here to the left as Sulis Minerva, and this is an incredible statue of her at the site itself. I picked up the point where the thermal waters, the ancient thermal waters, flow into the River Avon, which flows through Bath. And I walked along the course of the river in the direction that the thermal waters, these different molecules of water fusing with the River Avon, these different water ages, to a point where another Iron Age goddess was found in this coin here. And this is the goddess of Tanit, and she's found just in between Bath and Bristol in a village called Saltford, and it's a coin found in the river. And this is a coin that's travelled a long distance. Tanit is associated with Tunisia. Here I'm engaging with water as heritage in terms of ancient water and, one might say, modern fresh water, and connecting to Iron Age goddesses from the site of the thermal waters in Bath to this place in Saltford near to an Iron Age hill fort, and these two women as represented there as well. You can hear that recording on this SoundCloud link.